I'm curious, and I'm pretty sure the listeners are curious too, that how a mind of an innovator works.
I spent the last 10 years with Nestle. My first corporate job was as a marketing executive in an insurance company, by the way.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, we have something in common.
We have
as well.
something in common.
Now I see that you are head of innovation at Bateel.
I think innovation and marketing are very close. There was the need to have someone to drive the transformation, and I raised my hand. You always need to adapt to a new market. And new market, new dynamics, new customer, new consumer.
I've had a conversation with a gentleman. He was part of the team who actually created brand Bateel back in the days.
It was one of the first brands that I knew when I got into the UAE.
What's one thing that you learned the hard way?
Feedback is a blessing. Even senior leaders are human.
If you can also come back and tell us, how did it go? Did you get fired? I'm joking. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Behind Marketing Lines, where stories fuel growth. I'm your host, Zeeshan, and today my guest is João Barreto. João, thank you for taking time out.
Thank you so much, Z. Really nice to be here with you.
Likewise. Well, what if your life was a movie? What's the opening scene like, and what is it called?
I think it would be called something around If Only I Knew What I Know Today.
Okay.
Probably the first scene would be myself going into a meeting room, feeling that I know it all, that I figured it out, and then understanding that maybe not. And
Right.
really understanding, okay, maybe I don't know it all, and I have a lot to learn.
What if your life was a book? What chapter are we at right now?
I would call it Leaving the Nest.
Interesting.
I spent the last 10 years with Nestle,
Okay.
and it was a very interesting journey through 4 different countries with
Right.
many different people. Did a lot of different roles, learned a lot, and it's a place that I call home somehow. And a couple of months ago, I moved out after exactly 10 years. It's a nice story. I joined 1st of October, left 30th of September. So
Wow.
10 years on the dot. And now I'm learning again some dynamics, how to live in a different house with different people. So it's a new chapter for me.
Interesting. And I think it's a very sweet chapter as well.
It is. I think, after 10 years, you kind of get used to things, right? You get comfortable. And moving away pushes you out of your comfort zone and challenges you. So that brings something different, something sweet, something for you to look for. So I'm really excited about this new chapter because it's challenging me, which is something that I really like and I always looked for throughout all my career so far.
And I was also referring to, a little something that you brought me from where you work. So I was relating it to that as well.
Yes.
But, so what's your origin story? I mean, when I look at your LinkedIn, you have accomplished a lot. And now I see that you are head of innovation at Bateel. So were you always into innovation, or did your career started somewhere else?
My career was very different many years ago. I'm not
Okay.
going to say how many because that kind of gives away my age. But
Right.
I started in sports and education.
Interesting.
So my first degree was in sports and education. I was teaching kids. I was a PE teacher,
Okay.
and I was a personal trainer as well.
Interesting.
And I always say that phase of my career gave me a lot of skills that I use today. When you deal with kids are small humans with no filters,
True.
which when they feel something is wrong or they want something, they'll just tell you. So you kind of learn how to navigate it because you have constant feedback from that human, right? Adults are still humans, but now with filters. So it's more complicated to understand from them and to learn how they operate because you don't get this feedback so frequently. So actually working with kids helped me understand humans better and use these skills in my corporate life. So it's a very interesting shift. In my mid 20s, I just decided that I didn't want that for all my life, and I took a business administration course degree, and moved to corporate.
By any chance, did you really like the marketing courses and you decided to touch upon marketing as well?
I always had a little bit of interest in marketing.
Right,
Even when I was in sports, I worked in marketing with Nike, so it was a very interesting one.
right.
So when I went to business administration, I already had a bit of an eye on marketing, and my first corporate job was as a marketing executive in an insurance company, by the way.
Interesting.
Yes,
Okay, we have something in
we
common
have
as
some
well.
kind in common, exactly. And then from there moved to tech, and then to Nestle, and now with Bateel, with a sweet tooth now.
Interesting. So, I mean, was the journey smooth or was there a plot twist in between?
It was not smooth because we had a lot of changes along the way in our life. And I have a family. I have 3 kids today.
Mashallah.
Thank you. And if if I think back, with especially the last 10 years, we lived in 4 countries. My oldest son is 11, and he lived in 4 countries. Actually 5, because we got stranded in Portugal for a while.
Right.
So that family part is quite complicated to manage because you need to manage change, you need to manage new friends, new schools, all of that. So it doesn't come without the challenges,
Right.
especially the personal ones. From a business perspective, you always need to adapt to a new market. And new market, new dynamics, new customer, new consumer. So you need to learn all of that again, right? And it's really important that although you come with some experience, you really make sure that you understand your local consumer, because that it's what makes it or break it, to be honest. If you come with a, you know, I know it all, I did it somewhere else, and you do the same thing, most probably it's not going to work. So it gives that interesting part, and obviously some challenges that it makes it interesting, to be honest.
Post your degree in business administration, you started off in marketing, but then you moved into innovation.
Yes.
So, looking back, was there a defining moment that told you, you know what, marketing is great, but let's do something different?
Innovation and marketing are very close.
That's true.
When I moved to innovation specifically, and I started driving innovation, I felt it's in its way a stream of marketing, because you're bringing new products to your consumer. It happened by chance. It was a situation that we were going through a big transformation globally. There was the need to have someone to drive the transformation, and I raised my hand,
Oh,
looking for
nice.
challenges.
Okay.
That's my way of doing things, and from there I really took it closely, and started doing, after the transformation, doing more. I've created a department, I've created a team. I started looking a little bit broadly into innovation, to drive internal mindset, to people internally think about innovation as not a marketing thing, because there's always this thing and thinking that innovation and new products come from marketing or R&D. Well,
True.
I don't see it like that. I think anyone can come up with something interesting and a good idea, and then transform it into innovation, which is basically a good idea that creates value, in
Correct.
my view. All of that kind of brought me into the innovation space. I kept my marketing lens into everything. So I always look with the marketing lens, which I think it's important, especially when you're bringing innovation into the business and you want to sell. So yeah, it's been very interesting. I think I'm focusing only on innovation for the last 7 or 8 years now.
What are you working on these days that excites you the most? I know you're into a new chapter in your life already.
Yes, building something from scratch. So having a new team, new ways of doing things, and supporting and driving innovation of a brand that is an amazing brand. Bateel is a heritage brand with very strong links to the region and has amazing products. So I want to continue this and be part of this journey of Bateel to really create the pipeline that takes Bateel into the future. Because this is what is going to bring the new revenue also for the company.
For me, it's very interesting because I've had a conversation with a gentleman uh, on the camera and offline. He was part of the team who actually created brand Bateel back in the days.
Oh, really?
Now, I mean, talking to the head of innovation who's taking it to the next level, I think this is very interesting.
For me, it's one of the most amazing brands that we have in the region. It was one of the first brands that I knew when I got into the UAE,
Right.
And it was already a brand that I had close to me since I arrived here, and with all the objectives of expanding and growing, especially internationally, I think innovation will play a massive role to ensure that we can bring Bateel to other horizons and beyond the GCC.
All the best.
Thank you.
Are there any challenges that are keeping you up at night?
Today, I don't have many problems falling asleep, but my mind
That's
works
amazing.
I stopped drinking coffee, so now I only drink one coffee a day, so that makes a huge
Right.
difference. um, my mind works in a kind of a weird way.
Right.
I don't bring problems into my house, so I try to leave them at the door. However, my mind keeps working on things like in the background, a little bit, like a computer stays something in the background. So I don't think about them, I fall asleep, but sometimes I wake up with ideas. So
Interesting.
that's the challenges don't prevent me to fall asleep, but they wake me up sometimes. So it's
Interesting.
not uncommon that I wake up and I start writing stuff on my phone so I don't forget, because if I already learned that if I don't write it down, the next morning it's gone.
They stay in your subconscious, and then when
It's
you wake up,
yeah,
you have the answers.
which is great. So for me,
Interesting.
it's a
So
way of working that works very well for me. It happens in many situations where I'm not thinking about work, something pops up, which is great.
interesting. I like it. I mean, I'm curious, and I'm pretty sure the listeners are curious too, that how a mind of an innovator works. So I think we're getting to know the
Yes,
answers now.
apparently that's how at least mine works.
And you have accomplished a lot. And I'm curious, if we were to zoom into a day in your life, how does it start and how does it end? And how do you accomplish so much in between?
I'm very family oriented person.
Right.
I think I'm quite well, balance. I think it's an overrated word, but I try to have my own balance.
Okay.
So I usually start the days early, take the kids to school.
Right.
When I arrive, I always have some time blocked for to study something, to learning
Nice.
block. So usually 30 minutes at least
Okay.
before I start working. Well, I actually consider it working. I think it's part of my day-to-day job. Then I look at my agenda, organize myself, go into meetings, emails, whatever that I have, decisions that I have to take. And then mid of the day, I go to the gym. And I do
Right.
this on a regular basis. And it might be gym, it might be anything else. But it blocks or kind of cuts my day in the middle.
Okay.
I zone out of work, and then I come back and I finish the day with a lot more clarity, which works very well for me. End of the day, I try not to stay too late into the office so I can still spend some time with the family. Then at the end, a walk with my wife, Netflix, something around those lines. That's where I finish my day.
Interesting. And I'm pretty sure your career journey so far has taught you so many lessons. What's one thing that you learned the hard way and it stayed with you?
Feedback is a blessing. I would put it like that.
Right.
I believe that when we are younger, we feel and we listen to feedback and we tend to defend ourselves. And when we do that, we are not really listening. So I believe that feedback is one of the most powerful things to help you grow, but it only works when you start listening to the feedback, other than defending yourself all the time because you're feeling that someone is attacking you. So knowing that feedback is not personal and it's something to help you grow, it's probably one of the most important lessons that I've learned the hard way, because I also defended myself quite a lot.
What if you were to give a piece of advice to future marketers or future innovators? What one piece of advice you would want to give them?
In today's world where everything moves so fast, one advice that I would give to any marketer innovator is stay relevant.
Right.
And by staying relevant is, don't think that what you know now is gonna survive and last forever. It's not. And we are seeing it now that with new technologies, new ways of working, new things coming up, those that are not educating themselves and are not working to stay relevant are going to struggle very soon. So having this mindset of staying relevant, I think it's important for anyone in the workforce, and especially in marketing and innovation, where things are moving at a very, very fast pace.
100%. And what do you foresee? I mean, what's one skill or mindset that is going to separate tomorrow's great marketers or innovators from the rest?
Being critical thinking,
Right.
not taking first answers as the right one, ensuring that you look at things with different perspectives, that you understand there's more than one way to do things. That's going to be really important to anyone. Today we're having generative AI, ChatGPT, and you can already see those that are critical thinkers and push back and challenge the agent, try to get more answers and better answers from those that take it as the first answer is the right one and they push it through. AI is going to be here from now on, and the big difference will be those that know how to challenge it, how to really push it, and not taking anything like, okay, they give me this answer, this is the right one, and I'm going to use it.
Can you share one underrated tool or practice that you rely on the most?
One practice that I do is to get to know my team very well.
Okay.
And I think it's underrated, to be
Right.
honest. As a leader of teams, I think we have the responsibility to know the people that we work with and adapt ourselves to them, because we are more senior, so we should be the ones being able to adapt ourselves to understand who's on the other side and really use that knowledge to bring the best out of the person that is with you. And I've always used this, I've always done this with my team, and I could see that what I used to do with one person wouldn't work with another one.
Agreed.
And so I learned that I really need to adjust to get the best out of all of them. So for me, getting to know the people well, and it's not only your team, to be honest, I think it's anyone is around you, is a very, very important skill to be successful.
100%. And in the marketing, we say know your audience, right? Or even in financial services, when we are doing business, it says there is a KYC, know your customer, we are
Yes.
supposed to fill. So I think the first step is knowing your team better so that you can be the best around them and they can be the best around you.
100%.
What's one daily habit or ritual that you live by and it helps you stay sharp and focused?
Well, I think it's cutting the day into two. Sometimes it's gym, sometimes it's reading, sometimes it's just going for a walk.
Right.
I always try to cut my day into two, and that helps me, that my second half of the day is a lot more clear and focused than if I go straight the whole day.
That's an interesting one. I think I'm going to try doing that. Yeah.
It's
Is there a disclaimer that please don't try this at home, or no? I mean, I can try this.
No. Try it, go for it, and do something that really takes you out of your daily job, because I think that's the really important thing, is something that kind of brings you to a different world or a different dimension, that you're not thinking about work, because that really helps you to, when you come back, you're refreshed.
That's an interesting one. Let's see how it goes. I'll come back to you
let
and
me
share
know.
results. Right, or I think we'll do a research. So listeners, if you can also come back and tell us how did it go? Did you get fired? I'm joking. So what if you were teaching your younger self a crash course? What chapter are you teaching them right now? I mean, what chapter would you be teaching them right now?
Even senior leaders are human.
That's true.
We usually underestimate what the other person is feeling as well. Just because they're more senior, we feel as younger that he doesn't have fears, he doesn't have anxiety, he doesn't feel, or imposter syndrome even, right? And understanding that on the other side is someone human like you helps you really have better conversations and more human conversations and feeling more comfortable in having those conversations. So I really believe that would be one of the key things that I fortunately learned early in my career, and I would teach someone that is starting their career on this as well.
Now I would like you to wear your marketer's hat.
Okay, let's go for it.
So I have a rapid fire round where I'll be asking you a few professional and a few personal questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start with the professional ones and let's see how it goes.
Let's go.
So you'll have to choose between the two
Mm-hmm.
and no explanations needed.
Okay.
SEO or paid marketing?
Paid.
Brand or performance marketing?
Brand.
Creativity or data?
Data.
A startup hustle or corporate structure?
In between.
Books or podcasts?
Books.
LinkedIn or Instagram?
LinkedIn.
AI or human intuition?
AI with critical thinking.
Global campaigns or local activations?
Local activations.
TV ads or TikTok reels?
Well, I don't have TikTok, but TikTok, because TV ads are gone.
That's what working these days. Working from office or home?
Hybrid.
Risk taking or playing it safe?
Risk taking.
Customer first or product first?
Customer first.
This is a good one. Let's test it or let's get the approval first.
Let's test it.
Campaigns that win or campaigns that bring in revenue?
Campaigns that bring the revenue. We're here to make money.
That is correct. A few personal ones. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Early mornings or late nights?
Early mornings.
Mountains or beaches?
To visit beaches.
Reading or web series?
Reading.
Solo trips or group travel?
Group travels. I have 3 kids.
Well, same here. Are you a minimalist or a collector?
I'm more of a minimalist.
City life or countryside?
To live city life.
Are you a planner or last minute?
Planner.
Inbox zero or 1,000 unread emails?
Inbox zero every day.
Wow, I need to learn that. Gym or I'll start Monday?
Gym.
Alarm snooze or jump out of bed?
Snooze.
Suit or sneakers?
Sneakers.
Music while working or absolute silence?
Music.
If you could create an innovation themed comedy sketch, what one thing from innovation or marketing you would take on?
I would go for marketing.
Okay.
There's one thing that we usually say, or companies usually say, that could go into a good sketch, which is we are customer centric.
Right.
I think it's many companies are customer centric, but they don't really know the customer.
That is
So
correct.
I would put a sketch, someone saying I'm customer centric, maybe sitting in a high floor office in his suit behind his desk, saying something like that, because it's not really real.
That is so true. And I think we see that every day.
Yeah.
What if your life was a marketing campaign? What would the tagline be?
Something around global mindset, local execution.
You must have received a lot of advice during your whole professional and personal life. What's one piece of advice that stayed with you?
I actually have 2, if I can.
Okay.
It was actually from the same person, so it's quite interesting thing. One thing that she told me was, look, the only thing you need to do is make sure that you are there to support her in coming into the company, help her on understanding the company. And at the moment, I didn't think a lot about it, but then I realized that coming from the outside to a very senior role without knowing the company would be a very stressful thing. So having someone that could help, again, going into senior people are also human, was a very good advice. I created a very good relationship with my line manager, and I think I also managed to help her getting into the role. So that was one of them. The second thing is actually a book
Okay.
that I was recommended to read called Essentialism
Right.
from an author called Greg McKeown, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And it's a book that helps you understand what's important and what is not in your life.
Right.
And it taught me to say no to
Okay.
things and to prioritize what is relevant and what is not in my life.
I'm gonna read that book. It sounds very
And you'll
interesting.
let me know what if you felt something with it as I did.
Definitely. All right. So can you share a funny or awkward or oh no moment from one of your meetings or podcast appearances or a job interview that never made it to LinkedIn and you would want to share now?
I'm a planner, so usually it doesn't happen very often. But I actually had one. I went for a presentation in my kid's school,
Okay.
so it was a last minute thing, and the school was asking for parents to present things.
Right.
And I arrived there. I was like the third speaker, if I'm not mistaken, and everyone was having slides, very prepared, showing up stuff, and I had nothing. Like,
Right.
so I came to the stage and I said, "Look, I don't have a presentation. It's only me, and you're gonna hear me talk." And
Right.
that was it. So basically, I spent like 10 minutes talking with no slides. I think it went okay. It was an interesting conversation because it ended up being a conversation rather than a presentation, which was
Right.
good. But yeah, it was a funny moment because I really felt like maybe I should have come with a different set of stuff to present. But end of the day, all went well.
All is well that ends well.
Exactly.
If you had to describe your journey so far in 3 words, what those 3 words would be?
Focus, resilience, and commitment.
What if you were to put a billboard on Sheikh Zayed Road about your life? What are you going to write on it?
Respect others, learn as much as you can, and enjoy the ride.
Interesting. And you must have worked with a lot of marketers throughout your journey, right? You started off as a marketer, but then you picked a niche and then you became the innovator. But what's one thing or one quality you see in a marketer and you say, ah, he or she is a great marketer?
Someone that is curious,
Okay.
curiosity
Right.
about their own brands, about their consumer, about their competitors. And when you are curious, you can learn so much that you can make things much better. So if I see someone that is curious, I always say this person will be a good marketer.
And since marketing gets to promote the innovations that your department is doing, if the marketing as we know it today was to disappear tomorrow, what would you go out, put your superhero cape, fight and bring one thing about marketing back?
The most powerful tool in marketing is storytelling.
I
I
couldn't agree more.
I always feel that anything that you do with a good story that connects with people is something that would last almost forever. I always think about if I think about ads, for example, that I've seen, are the ones that tell the best story that remain with me. And the same with brands, right? The brands that have the nicest story, the best story, are the brands that survive the longest as well. So storytelling, I think it's one of those things that marketing cannot survive without.
Agreed.
And it's probably the one key thing that I love the most because telling the good story and delivering a good story, it's just an amazing feeling.
When the credits roll on your professional journey, what would you want those lines to read?
My last lines. Hmm.
On the professional journey, before
On
you
the
take a
professional journey.
retirement,
Before that
and
one, before those lines. I think I want to be remembered somehow as someone that cared, a caring leader, if I may
right,
say. I always say this when I have teams that my first goal or my first role is to help them succeed, to help them grow.
right,
It's beyond anything else because for me, growing a team and helping someone become better at what they do is one of the most rewarding things. And at the same time, it helps me succeed as well. Because if my team is happy, growing, succeeding, I'll be succeeding as well.
Agreed.
So I really want that when I finish my career, that people look back and say, he was a great leader. I loved working with him and he helped me in one specific moment in time.
That gets to be the tagline of your professional journey as well, right? He cared.
Yes.
Beautifully said. One last question. So for the marketers who are journalists right now, the journalist with a G, one piece of advice for the people who want to pick innovation as their niche.
They need to challenge the status quo.
Okay.
I think they need to be challengers. They need to be change makers. They need to be people that are not afraid of transformations, that are not afraid of, doing things differently. They need to be proactive in those things. Go and really try to achieve things even when their challenges are in front of them, and be very resilient. But for me, it's like the curiosity and challenging the status quo and not being afraid of it.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for sharing this with us. And I'm pretty sure that this is going to add a lot of value for the listeners out there. And I think as a sequel, we need to do a masterclass on how to innovate. Probably sometime we'll sit
Let's
together and Joao is going to teach you how to be innovators.
Thank you, Z.
Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you behind Marketing Lines. Thank you for leaving your mark.
Thank you. It was a real pleasure being here with you and having this conversation. I really loved the podcast, so it's now part of my traffic podcasts.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for tuning in to Behind Marketing Lines. This was the story of João Barreto. I'll see you in the next episode.